Welcome to Doc's Daily Dose for Dads, prescribed by Dr. Harrison. All right, I'm a little amped up today. I've had my time to calm down, though. I'm still trying to pull it together. But I want to talk about honesty and integrity. And this is not directly related to my boys, but it will spin that way when we talk about it. So I had to go to small claims court today. I was the actual plaintiff. I was suing a tattoo artist. He has all the money, and he didn't complete the work. When I showed up to his shop for my second session, there was painter's plastic all over the floor. He had a carpenter in there with an electric saw cutting through wood, building cabinets with sawdust everywhere in the air. I mean, totally unhealthy, unsafe place. And then after that, I tried to reach out to him over 2.5 weeks, no response. And the guy just did me dirty, and I kept my cool. I was calm, I was polite, I was professional throughout the whole thing. We get to court today, and mind you, this whole process was new to me. I mean, having to go out and talk with him and share, exhibits of evidence that you're going to submit to court. There was no mediation. I wasn't going to mediate. I was like, keep the deposit I gave you. Just give me back the other money for the unfinished work. And we end up going to sit in front of the judge, and I get to start off, and I tell everything that happened, step by step. I got the consultation. I paid for the deposit. I showed up for the first session, took 8 hours. He barely did any work. He took a phone call during that time and had me pacing around his shop for an hour by myself while he was on the phone. We then set up a new session. I show up, and that's when the construction stuff happened. He tells me he's going to get back to me tomorrow, the following day, to set up something for that upcoming Sunday or the Sunday after. Kept calling, kept texting, no response, and then those 2 Sundays pass, and I call him and leave a message, and then I text him. And I say, hey, I see you're super busy. Keep the $500. Just give me back my other money. You didn't do the work, and I really don't want to deal with this anymore. Why am I chasing you? After I present my side, he then speaks to the judge. And all he's brought with him is pictures of his own work to show off how awesome he was and a resume of all his accolades. And I never denied the man had good work. But then he starts to go into a rant about how I must have gone and seen other tattoo artists, and I'm making up a bunch of stuff, and the text message exchange that I printed out for the judge was doctored, and how he even tried to belittle my education and my background, like, oh, he's just some internet type teacher, when I'm a researcher. I work with fathers and sons. I work as a coach. I do a lot of things in the community. As you can see, it's got me pretty pissed off. I was beyond upset. Forget the fact of the work or how he feels. The fact that as a professional, you didn't handle me the way you should have. And he told me my work takes a back seat because he's got clients who pay $10,000, $50,000, and he does movie stars and athletes. I don't care who you are. If I've paid you for a job, do the job and treat me the same as everyone else. And it got me thinking after I left there so riled up. I mean, had this been, 15 years ago, he would have seen a different side of me. For real. They didn't call me Angry Onio for nothing in college football. But I started thinking about honesty and integrity and about the golden rule. I teach my kids to treat others the way they want to be treated. Joe Rogan had a stand-up set where he talked about how if aliens came to this earth and you had to explain to them why everything was so messed up, how would you explain it? And it's because people aren't treating each other the right way. The other thing he mentioned was, what if, they have the saying that your environment and everything around you is a reflection of yourself. The other sentiment he had was, well, then what if everyone around you is you in a different form? If you kept that in mind, how would you treat everybody? And I try to instill that in my boys. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Professionally, as a business owner, or in working dealings with people or business transactions, but also personally, right? I responded in a professional manner, in a polite manner, treating him the way I would want to be treated if the roles were reversed. He did not. He treated me like I was some sort of scumbag. Second, he lied. He just flat out lied and was very arrogant and condescending when speaking to the judge. Zero integrity for this man. I'm not going to call out his name. I don't think it's fair, and I don't want to besmirch his character or his profession. He can do what he does. I just want my money back. But again, my kids, I got to teach them to be honest, to have some integrity. to be able to stand up and know that you're telling the truth. He kept fumbling because, as Judge Judy says, you don't need a good memory when you're telling the truth. And I was telling the truth. And I want my kids to be able to tell the truth. I want them to treat people right. I want them to be honest. I want them to have integrity. But the other part of that I have to share with them, because we didn't get a verdict. The judge said, all right, you will get a verdict in the mail within a week, which I thought it was going to happen right then and there. But apparently that's not how it works, or she had more things she wanted to go over with respect to the contract and if I could actually get my money back. But with respect to the boys on that, is even when you treat people the way you want to be treated, even if you're honest and you uphold yourself with the highest standard of integrity, things may not work out your way. And I have to understand that and realize that even though I did everything I thought I was supposed to do and handled it the best way possible without any kind of anger or any kind of besmirching of his name or any kind of condescending or belittling remarks, he still may win the case. My boys have to understand that even though you're doing the right thing, things don't always still turn out in your favor. But even if they do or they don't turn out in your favor, you can hold your head up high because you know you've done the correct thing. Ethically, morally, professionally, personally, socially, even physically by restraining yourself in a moment when you want to just slap the shit out of somebody. So remember to share that with your kids. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Be honest. And uphold yourself to the highest standard of integrity you possibly can. Because at the end of the day, that'll win out over everything. And karma will catch up to this man, regardless of whether or not the judge agrees with me. All right, you guys, that's Doc's Daily Dose for Dads. Don't forget to hashtag Doc's Daily Dose for Dads, hashtag 4D. Also, check out all social media at rebirthbx. I'll get back to you guys tomorrow with another piece of advice.